Hello there, and a very warm welcome to all you learners from Kent Business College. Right, let's just jump straight into it, shall we? We're here to talk about taming the chaos in the office. Because, let's face it, we need to find smarter ways to work so you can spend less time fighting your environment and more time actually doing brilliant things.
So, I want you to ask yourself this question, and be honest. Is your office a real performance engine? Pushing your team forward? Or does it sometimes feel a bit more like a handbrake, just creating friction and slowing everything down? If that sounds familiar, well, you're definitely not alone. You see, this is what I like to call the Great British Office Pickle. It's those endless email chains that just spiral into oblivion. It's waiting what feels like an eternity for a simple answer that should have taken 2 minutes. It's watching a genuinely good idea get completely swallowed up by the noise. It's maddening, isn't it? But here's a thought. What if the problem isn't the people? What if it's the place itself? And that's the core idea we're digging into. In the world of Agile, your workspace isn't just decoration. It's not about having nice plants and a fancy coffee machine. It is a performance architecture. It is literally the system that sets you up for success or failure. Okay, so let's tackle a classic problem first. That constant tug of war between needing to get your head down and really concentrate versus needing to collaborate and bounce ideas around with your team. How on earth do you solve that one?
Well, the best teams know it's not a competition. It's not one or the other. You absolutely need both. You need that quiet, focused time for deep work, the tricky analysis or debugging, but you also need that lively, interactive time for collective thinking, the brainstorming, the planning. A truly great workspace has to support both modes. And the first piece of the puzzle is what we call a cave. This is your sanctuary. It's a quiet space, totally free from interruptions, where you can get that deep thinking done. The best analogy? It's your garden shed, the one place you can go to solve a really tricky problem in absolute peace.
And the flip side of the cave is, of course, the common. This is your shared, open, buzzing space. This is where the magic of collaboration happens. Think of this as your favorite lively pub, the perfect spot for a good natter, to kick ideas about and solve the world's problems, or at least your project's problems, together. Right, so we've got our spaces sorted, our quiet sheds and our lively pubs. But what about how we actually work together? Let's get into those other classic headaches, when knowledge gets stuck with just one person, or when a crucial task just grinds to a halt, holding everybody up. So one really powerful technique here is pairing. It's exactly what it sounds like. 2 team members, 1 task, 1 workstation. The analogy is perfect. It's like 2 of you tackling a really tough cryptic crossword. You spot each other's mistakes, you share little tricks, and the final quality is just so much higher. And you know what? This works an absolute treat remotely with screen sharing too. Now, for those really urgent blockers, we have swarming. This is when the entire team literally drops what they're doing to focus all their energy on one single high-priority thing until it is done and dusted. It's an incredible way to clear a bottleneck and get that one piece of work that's stuck in the mud moving again. And then for the gnarliest, most complex problems, you have mobbing. Now this is intense. The whole team works on one thing at one computer. You have one person as the driver, who's on the keyboard, and everyone else acts as navigators, shouting out ideas and directions. It's full on, but for solving really tough issues and spreading knowledge fast, there's nothing quite like it. So just look at how neatly this all lays out. You've got pairing, your cryptic crossword for 2 people to boost quality. You've got swarming, like the whole street push-starting a car for the team to unblock a task. And you've got mobbing, the whole family shouting at university challenge to crack a really tough nut. It's about having the right tool for the job. Okay, let's talk about meetings. Oh, the meetings. The ones where everyone talks over each other, the same 2 people dominate the whole conversation, and you just know the quieter ones have brilliant ideas that are just getting completely lost. There has to be a better way, right? Well, there is. It's called the fishbowl method, and it is a wonderfully civilized way to have a difficult conversation. You have a small group in the middle, in the fishbowl, who are the only ones allowed to talk. Everyone else is in an outer circle, just listening. And then you rotate people in and out so everyone gets a chance to speak fully and without interruption. Honestly, the best way to think about it is as a much, much more civilized version of Prime Minister's questions. You see, everyone gets their say, important points are heard, but you manage to do it all without any of the shouting and the general ruckus. It's just so much more productive. So let's pull back a bit and look at the big picture here. All of these things, Caves, commons, pairing, fishbowls, they aren't just trendy management fads. They are real, practical tools for turning a collection of people at desks into a proper, high-performing dynamo. Because what this all does is it directly attacks what we call waste. And I don't mean stuff in the bin. I mean all the unproductive faff that just wastes time and money. The waiting around for an email reply, the redoing work because of a misunderstanding. All of that stuff just starts to melt away.
Which kind of brings us to this idea of a maturity scale. So have a think, where does your team really sit? Are you down at the low end, stuck in those silos and endless emails? Or are you moving towards that high end, where things like pairing and swarming are just second nature? It's a really useful way to gauge where you are.
And that leads us to this final, really powerful idea. The quote says it all, doesn't it? It is not about the furniture. It is about designing the entire social and technical environment, the whole ecosystem that allows your team to constantly deliver brilliant work. So, I'll leave you with this question to mull over. Thinking about everything we've talked about today, what's the one change, just one, that you could make that could start to turn your workspace from just a bunch of desks and chairs into a true engine for getting great work done? Something to think about. Thanks for your time.